In Sonnet 16, Shakespeare the poet addresses the fair youth, his close friend. The poet says that his poetry does not have the power to give his friend any good fruit. Getting married and begetting children is the only option left for his dear friend. Welcome back, friends. This is Mehjabeen, and today I am going to explain William Shakespeare's Sonnet 16 line by line. But wherefore do not you a mightier way make war upon this bloody tyrant time? So, the poet Shakespeare raises a question before his close friend, the fair youth. He says, wherefore, that means why? Why don't you adopt a more powerful way? A mightier way means a more powerful method. Method of making war, that means a method of fighting against the ravaging effect of time. Time is being described as something bloody, as something demonic, as something despotic, as a dictator. But wherefore, that means why don't you adopt a mightier way, a more powerful way to make war, that means to fight against the devastating effect of time, and fortify yourself and protect yourself in your decay. And as you decay, as you decline, as you grow older, try to preserve your beauty, try to preserve your handsome features, which means more blessed than my barren rhyme. The poet says that his power of creating poetry is barren. It is not very productive. It does not have that much of effect. So he advises, he gives the suggestion to his fair friend that he should adopt a more effective way of preserving his beauty, of preserving his youth, than depending on his friend's poetry to immortalize himself. Which means more blessed. You should use some other methods which are more productive than my barren rhyme. That means than my empty poetry, than my poetry which is not productive enough. Now stand you on the top of happy hours. This is the point of time in your life, my dear fair friend. This is the point of time in your life when you are at the zenith of glory, when you are at the zenith, at the peak of prosperity. You are having a very fortunate life now. Why? Because you are a young person, you are a good looking person, you are attractive. And many maiden gardens yet unset. Unset means unmarried or unsettled in life. And the gardens of many fresh young maiden who have not yet settled down in life, those gardens are waiting for you so that you can sow your seeds, so that you can create flowers. And many maiden gardens yet unset with virtuous wish would bear you living flowers. And with virtuous, that means with good, with pure, noble intentions. If you marry any one of them, you would have several flowers, living flowers. That means you would be able to create children much liker than your painted counterfeit. And these children would be more lifelike, they would be more real, they would be more genuine than the portrait that is created by the most talented artist. The portrait that an artist creates, your portrait, that portrait is not as real as your own children which have been begotten out of a married life. So in other words, the poet is advising his friend not to depend on his poetry to immortalize him, but to get married and create children, because his children will no doubt inherit his good looks, and as a result in his old age he would be able to find that he is protected, if he will feel refreshed, re-energized. So this is what his suggestion is. Let's see what he has to say further. So should the lines of life that life repair which this time's pencil or my pupil pen. So the lines of life, that is the children of the fair young friend, they would be like moving pictures, and they would be the lines of life that would repair, or regenerate, or make fresh his advancing years. And in his advancing years, in his old years, in his old age, he would see his children and would get re-influenced and would get re-inspired, re-energized to enjoy his life. So should the lines of life that life repair, which this time's pencil, that means the power of time to create wrinkles on the face of men as they grow older, or my pupil pen, that means my immature poetry. So my immature poetry does not have the capacity to keep you alive, and time's pencil, time is always creating wrinkles on people's faces, and they become older and older, and they don't look, they lose their beauty, they lose their youth, they lose their attractiveness. But if children are created, the lines of life, if children are created, then the damage that is created will be repaired. Life, that means children, living children will repair that damage. Neither in inward worth nor outward fair can make you live yourself in eyes of men. So if you have to depend on my poetry, or if you allow time to create wrinkles on your face, then the result will be that your inward worth, your personality, the beauty of your personality, and your outward beauty, your physical beauty, these will not last long, and people will forget them. They will not remain alive for a very long period of time, because you do not have children in your life to preserve your beauty, to give away yourself. So it is very important for you to surrender your bachelor status and get into marriage. Keeps yourself still, and as a result you will be able to through marriage you will be able to produce children, and they will resemble yourself, and your self will be preserved, your personality will be preserved, your beauty will be preserved in your children, and you must live drawn by your own sweet skill, and you will live on for a long period of time because you have fathered children. And so it is your sweet skill, that is your charm, your capacity as a husband, which will be more productive, and that will help you to live in this world for a long period of time, because you will be the father of beautiful children who will keep alive your legacy and make you immortal. So that would be more powerful than my poetry. And do not allow time to destroy you, because time can create just ravages, time can just destroy, time can just damage, and so don't allow time to do that. And now at the peak of your life, at the peak of your prosperity, at the peak of your glory, when you are still young, it is the time for you to get into a relationship with somebody, marry her, and then enjoy life.